Welcome to the Activated Storytellers 26th podcast, December 14th, 2006.
This week's story is The Swan Maiden, a story from Sweden.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And we are two-thirds of the Activated Storytellers.
Right, you might notice that a voice is missing this week. Zephyr has flown the coop.
Well, just temporarily, we hope. He is in North Carolina, rehearsing and recording, actually, with his band.
Right, he's managed to have a band even though he's lived on the road since he was 18 months old. And lately we haven't stayed more than 1 week in one place. But through the genius of technology and the internet and IMing and, of course, those great weekend cell minutes and nighttime cell minutes, he's managed to stay in touch with some guys out in North Carolina, and they formed a band. And they are now recording in a professional studio this week. So we hope to hear something good coming out of their band. And that would be the band Simple Disaster is the name they've given their band.
That's what they're calling it this week. They've changed the name quite a bit. I
know, Simple Disaster sounds like something their mother would name them, but I didn't do it.
All right, this week we are camping at Lake Chabot Campground, C-H-A-B-O-T, Lake Chabot, near Castro Valley and not far from Oakland, up in the hills.
Right. It's one of the few campgrounds that you can find in the San Francisco Bay Area. Campgrounds around here are very scarce and very expensive. But there is this one. It's tucked way up in the hills, and it's a very reasonable rate for the San Francisco Bay Area. So we're here. We've been here several times in the past.
Yes, this place has a lot of memories for us. We spent one 4th of July here. We were trying to see the fireworks that occur in San Francisco, and we thought since we were up in the hills, we'd be able to see fairly well, but we hadn't counted on all the trees, and so when the fireworks started, we took this long hike trying to find a good vantage point to see the fireworks, and we never really found one.
But in the past, we have also, we've performed here, actually. We did a campfire program one year. We did the Coyote and the Eagle. We performed for the campfire.
We hadn't planned on that. We just happened to be camping here, and one of the rangers came by and saw our trailer with our logo on it and started talking to us and said, how would you like to perform at the campfire program we have coming up? So we thought about it and decided, well, why not? And that night we had an audience of about 50 to 75 by the campfire. It was really rather nice.
Yeah, kind of a different setting for us. Coyote and Eagle is also available on one of our earlier podcasts. I believe it was the first one that we did on the podcasts.
Yes, I believe you're right.
You can also find Coyote and Eagle on one of our audio CDs. Lake Chabot, also, I go way back, my relationship with Lake Chabot. When I was a kid and about 7th, 8th grade, I used to come up here. This was one of the first places that my parents would let me come alone with my bicycle. Me and my friends would come up here and bike around. So anyway, we highly recommend Lake Chabot if you're interested in finding a campground around the San Francisco Bay Area. We decided to spend the week camping so we could work on our shows that we're putting together. We've got a Shakespeare show that we're trying to get costumes ready for and rehearsing and whatnot that we need to do.
And so Kimberly has her sewing machine out and has it all cranked up. Fortunately, we have a nice RV to sew in right now, which is different from one particular occasion that I remember.
Oh, we're not going to tell that story, are we?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact. Why don't you tell us since you remember?
Oh, no. Well, we ended up putting a show together here a few years ago. We happened to be in this spot, and about 2 days before we opened the show, I was still working on the sets and costumes, and we had fallen behind schedule because we had a trailer that wasn't ready, and anyway, just a little bit behind schedule, and had a lot of work left to do, a lot of pins still in the set, needed to get them sewn, and well, we were in a tent at the time, and it was summer, and there was no spots available with electricity. And so what could I do? I looked around and trying to find an outlet. The only outlet I could find was in the handicap restroom right here at the campground. So I decided that that's what I was going to have to use, given no other choices. So I kind of hitched my sewing machine on a little cart, pinned together whatever I needed to sew, and I ran down there and set up shop in the bathroom.
And didn't you encounter a bit of a problem from the other campers?
Well, if I get these campers knocking on my door as if it was the only restroom. So I quickly put everything together and shuffled out of there, and I couldn't figure out why they needed to use that particular restroom. They weren't handicapped or anything, but yeah, they were a little miffed at me.
Just one of the memories that we've encountered in the Bay Area. If you've been following the travel log on our website, you'll notice that we spent a large part of the last few months in the Bay Area, in our old stomping grounds.
And because we are up here at Lake Chabot, we thought it would be a good tie-in to bring you the story of the Swan Maiden. And this is a story from Sweden. Once upon a time, there was a poor hunter who was out on a hunt, and he stumbled upon a lake.
Ow! Ooh, I didn't intend to go for a swim, but... Oh, birds coming! Ah, good. Let me get my bow and arrow ready. No, I can't shoot them. They're swans. Swan doesn't taste very good. They certainly are beautiful. Ooh, maybe I'll just crouch down here and watch them a while.
And when they landed, the 3 swans took their cloaks of feathers off, and before him were 3 beautiful maidens.
Wow, I don't believe my eyes. 3 beautiful maidens, and one of them is really beautiful. She looks like the youngest.
He was struck by the beauty of the youngest maiden of all.
Oh, I got struck.
The 3 sisters dived into the water and frolicked about the waves. Got you. Hey, stop that.
Wow, I thought this was a swan lake, but it looks like a beautiful maiden lake.
And then the 3 sisters put their cloaks back on and flew away.
No, wait, come back. I didn't even get your address. Oh, they're gone.
Well, the hunter was smitten.
Oh!
Especially with the youngest maiden of all. He could think of nothing but her, day in and day out. He didn't even want to hunt anymore, or take part in any of his favorite pastimes.
Oh, I don't really feel like bowling. All I can think about is that young woman. Whatever she is. Oh, I wonder if my mother has any words of wisdom. Mom.
Yes, dear?
I can't help it. I'm in love with a swan. What should I do about it, besides see a psychiatrist, of course?
A swan, you say? Well, how could this be possible?
Well, you should have seen the way she swam in the lake. It was just incredible. But, she turns into a woman. Yeah, no, don't look at me like that. It's true. She turns into a woman.
Oh, I see. Well, here's what you do. Next Thursday night, you go down by the lake, the same spot that you saw her the first time, and when she takes her cloak of feathers off, you pay careful attention. Find out where she's leaving the cloak of feathers, and while she is busy playing with her sisters, you take and hide the feathers. You understand?
Sure, I can do that. Thursday's usually my day to go fox hunting, but I'd rather go chasing a swan. Thank you, Mom.
No problem. And so next Thursday came, and the hunter lay hidden in the bushes.
Ow. Mosquitoes. Get out of here. Oh, there they come. They're going to take off their feathers again. Oh, wow. They're just as beautiful as before, and she's even more beautiful. All right, let me grab her feathers.
Last one's in, a rotten egg.
Got him. I'll just hide him here under my coat.
Sisters, we must get going. It is time. Father and Mother will be very upset if we're not back in time. I'm coming. Hey, wait for me. Hey. Where'd my feathers go? Have you guys seen them? No. Now come along. We must hurry. Wait, I put them right here. Oh, where could they be?
Hello, miss.
What? Oh, no. Oh, who are you? Oh, do you have my feathers?
Feathers? Oh, feathers. Oh, you mean those feathers that blew away in the wind just a little while ago. Yeah, that was it.
Wait, my sisters are gone. Oh, quickly, I need my feathers. Where are they?
Oh, don't worry about feathers. Why don't you marry me, and you can have a finer nest than you've ever known before, and maybe even a little nest egg someday.
Oh, well, I guess so. I can't exactly fly without my feathers. Oh.
Let's get married. Dum bum ba bum 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 ba bum.
And they were married and lived for several years, as happy as a couple of little lovebirds. Except every now and then, she did get a little homesick as she was dusting with the feather duster.
You sure you don't want to go fox hunting with me, dear?
No, that's okay, dear.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess given your background, you might be a little skittish around foxes. Okay, see you later.
Bye. And then one Thursday night, they were hosting a party.
Wow, everything around here happens on Thursday. Isn't that strange?
And the hunter was boasting to his friends.
Hey, guys, you wouldn't believe where I met my wife. She used to be a swan. Can you get over that?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought you were going to tell us she used to be a turkey.
A swan.
No, it's true, I tell you. She used to be a swan. Hey, I'll tell you what. Let me show you something. I'll go over here in the closet. I'll show you the feathers. She thinks the feathers got lost, see? But I have her feathers right here. I'll show you.
Hey, look at this. Hey, Harry. Hey, look at these feathers here.
Why, I'll be. Those feathers prove it. She really did used to be a swan.
What do you know about that?
Yes. Uh-oh, my wife's coming.
Well, his wife came into the room, and as soon as she touched the feathers, she was magically transformed back into a swan, and off she flew, never to be seen again.
She flew the coop. Wow, Joe, I didn't think it was possible to transform back into a swan, but your wife is gone. I guess that kind of spoils the party.
Yeah, see you later. And so the hunter died of a broken heart. And that's the story of the Swan Maiden.
Now, we always like to think about what folk tales really mean, what they're really all about, what do they symbolize. And it seems to me that in this case, the hunter stealing the swan's feathers represents him clipping her wings symbolically, curtailing her freedom.
In other words, not a very nice thing to do.
Yes, sort of keeping her pinned up, as it were. But she was someone who wanted to be a more liberated woman, so in the end she ended up flying away.
Well, that, and he also, I think, denied her of who she really was. I mean, she was never meant for the earth. She was a different creature altogether.
Yes, he tried to change her identity. And this story has parallels and connections with a lot of other folk tales, including the story of Lohengrin, which was the basis of the opera by Richard Wagner. In that opera, as you may know, Lohengrin, the title character, rides in on a boat pulled by swans, and it reminds me of a story about one performance. It may be just an urban legend because it's been told about several different singers in the role, but supposedly in one performance a long time ago, Lohengrin was getting ready to leave, and the boat left early before it should have. And he turned to the audience and said, "Does anyone know when the next swan leaves?"
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Speaking of Lohengrin, you'll notice during the story that we hummed a bit of the famous bridal chorus, dum bum ba bum. That was actually written by Richard Wagner for the opera Lohengrin.
Cool. Well, we will have a holiday show for you next time around, and we promise our third voice will be back. Zephyr, the Wanderer, the great rock and roll star to be, will return and be back with us for next week's show.
Yes, and also next week I will tell you, as I promised earlier, my favorite true Christmas story.
Well, the suspense builds. Yet again, we do not get to hear it, but tune in with us next week, and he will deliver it. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again.
See you next time.
I don't think we'll see him. Actually, I think we'll talk to you next time.
We will be heard by you next time.
We'll be in your ears next week.
The Activated Storytellers perform at schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use American Sign Language, physical comedy, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring the stories to life. For booking information, check our website at www.activated-storytellers.com, where you can also find out when the Activated Storytellers will be performing near you. Read a story or order one of our audio CDs. Until next time.